Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbettable. I am Mondo here today with Holmes and Gary. And for this episode, we got a lot to talk about. We got NBA playoffs, we got NHL playoffs, we got a couple headlines to hit on, and we got some plays to talk about. I mean, it's a typical episode for the boys. Well, let's get right into it. How are we doing, guys? How was your weekend? What's going on? Talk to me. Gary, let's start with you.
First of all, I want to say shout out to Scotty Scheffler for winning two jackets in 2 weeks. Pretty
Great.
badass feat right there. But yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I had a headache today, but that's all right. We persevere. But I officially finished all of my college assignments today. I'm a free man. I
Nice.
have no more worries. And it's on to the next chapter of life for me, I guess. So. It's exciting, but it's scary. But, I'm also thankful for everything I've learned on here and the different ways I've kind of been able to grow. And, I'm just excited to see what the next couple months have just, in store for me. So,
Very nice. Congratulations, Gary. You survived.
It's a great ship.
Still got to work on the merch, but once we get that done, you're free to keep doing your job because you're not getting away from this, even when you have a real life job.
bitch, I'm a Gator.
You are Bull Gator broadcasting to the top. We gonna run it up. Mr. Holmes, how was your weekend, my dude?
Great time, man. Just kicking back, watching the NHL and the NBA playoffs getting kicked off, watching a ton of baseball. I mean, just sports filled weekend. So let's get into this shit, man. There's so much good shit to talk about today.
All right,
All
well,
right,
let's head into the NBA playoffs, gentlemen, shall we?
all right, looks
What's
like
up,
a
Gary?
15-year-old that just got off work at Publix or something.
I have a
Gary, you
green
talk
polo
a
on
lot of
today.
shit for being 30 minutes late to a recording
What do
today.
you want me to do, man? I look good.
Sorry, I was sawing logs, so it's hard being a lumberjack.
Unacceptable. Don't come at the boy Holmes if you're coming in here 30 minutes late.
Sorry.
Okay. Holmes, Orlando Magic,
Yes,
obviously
sir.
taking on Cleveland. We know they're playing right now. Cleveland's up 1-0. How do we feel about this series knowing we're kind of in a tough spot if you're a Magic fan?
Yeah, honestly, bro, you can look at this series one of two ways. You can either look at it, obviously, both from the standpoint of the Magic. You can either look at this series and feel like you're going to be pretty overmatched against a really talented young team that just has a ton of scoring, a ton of ability on both sides of the ball. Or you can also look at it as a Magic fan that hasn't been to the playoffs in quite a bit of time. And you're actually out here as the 5 seed getting to play in the NBA playoffs, not even a play-in situation. Like, you made it, dude. The Magic made it. And this is a big sign that everything that they have been doing over the past few years to rebuild, retool, just absolutely demolish their whole team and bring it back to life with all these new players, new faces. I think it's got to be exciting that they're here in the playoffs finally. Like, it's going to be a tough series, honestly, because again, like I said, I just think Cleveland has too much offensively. As good as the Magic are defensively, and they have been all season, I think Cleveland's just going to overpower them in this series. Maybe the Magic will be able to win a game or two, but yeah, it's just going to be tough sledding, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta honestly feel good if you're a Magic fan. I know you're down 1-0, but your franchise player is what, 23 years old?
Yeah.
Like you guys are building up for the future. You made it this year. You obviously have a tough matchup with Cleveland. It is what it is. You're learning as you go. It's the experience factor.
Yeah.
Gary, what do you think about the Magic?
I mean, I think that what they've done the past few years is like great for the city of Orlando, honestly. The Amway, like as somebody who lives in Orlando, the Amway is honestly a bum ass stadium that really doesn't get used like I feel like it could. And then this year, the Magic come out and they put wins up on the board and people start showing out and you start getting celebrities coming out. And it's good. And I think that the Magic coach is also what's his name? Jamal Mosley.
Jamal Mosley, yeah.
I think that he also deserves his flowers because every year
Mhm.
since he's been there, I saw a stat line like the Magic have improved by at least 3 wins on their overall season. So, he's obviously doing something right. Again, though, the Cavs are super talented this year. I feel like that's also another team that, doesn't really get talked about much until this year when they all of a sudden showed out. So honestly, I'm just proud that the Magic are there. And I think, if they continue on this trend of only going up, then they could potentially be a good team.
Yeah. Let's take it over to Philly, New York. Probably one of the two most followed series to kick off the playoffs this season. We know Joel Embiid is battling injuries, fighting through it. Tyrese Maxey, same thing. New York, they pulled out a win in game one. Jalen Brunson did not have a good game by any means, at least for his standards, and they're still a 4.5-point favorite heading into tonight. If Tyrese Maxey is hurt, we are in trouble. If you are a 76er fan, you are in a bad place right now. Joel Embiid barely makes it up and down the court. He's obviously not fully game ready, not 100%. At what point in this series would they kind of take Joel Embiid off the court and protect him versus risking a long-term injury? Holmes?
I don't know, man, because it feels like Joel Embiid now, in my eyes, seems like he came back a little bit too early from his previous injury because the playoffs were coming around. He wanted to be ready for this. This is the time where, he wants to play more than anything. He's got a lot to prove, and he's always been that way. But at a point, it's that question is there. I wish I knew the answer, honestly, because I can see an argument for both ways. I can see him as a player just wanting to be out there. And what are you going to do? Say no to your star that wants to be out there on the floor and feels that he's capable of doing it? Or do you take like the Dick CEO manager move and literally just yank him and sit him and actually do what you think is best for him in the long term of things? But you don't know how that's going to affect now your relationship with him going forward. Is he going to feel sour toward you because of all of this? It's a really interesting thing to think about during the series, man. I mean, Josh Hart had an electric game one for the Knicks. Like, he was draining threes left and right. I think Jalen Brunson gets hot and all the role players around him start working like I know they've been doing all season long. They can take care of Philly here, man, for sure. And having Mitchell Robinson back, massive addition to the Knicks.
Huge.
Yeah.
Over 5.5 rebounds tonight. Lock that in. More
Like
bets
that.
to come later.
Yeah, I like that.
Gary, give
I
me your
mean,
initial thoughts on this series.
Personally, I want the Knicks to win this series. I don't know. I think Spike Lee deserves it. I think he deserves to see his team get past the first round. But like on the topic of what you guys were talking about, whether or not you play him or you sit him, if I'm the CEO, I'm playing Embiid. At this point, I think that seeing a fully healthy Embiid on the court is just something that you will never see. There will always be some sort of issue. I feel like that's just been evident since the beginning of his career. So, at this point, like, fuck it. What do you have to lose? I mean, if he gets hurt, you're out in the very beginning of the playoffs. Hopefully it's a minor injury. And you know what? He has plenty of time to heal and get better before the next season. So I would just play him.
All right. Final matchup for Monday night. We got Lakers. We got Nuggets. Is Denver going to repeat? Gary, let's start with you.
I don't think the Lakers can compete with Denver personally. I think that when it comes to playoff ball, like if there's a team that knows how to do it, and if there's a person that knows how to do it, everybody knows who I'm talking about, the Joker. Like, I mean, it's just, watching the Lakers, it just looks like they're defeated. Like, I kind of want it for LeBron, like, because God only knows how many more years we have of watching him. But it's just like the LeBron AD connection just doesn't seem to necessarily be there. And if it is there, it's not going to be enough to beat the Nuggets.
Holmes?
If you're asking if I think the Nuggets will repeat, I think it is a very good chance that they do. They just play way too fluid of a game of basketball through and through. All the guys on their team know exactly what roles they have to achieve in to win. They don't try to do anything more, anything less. Like, and it's pretty impressive to see how they actually play as a team with as dominant of a player as they have on that team anyway. It just matched up with the Lakers. I mean, I saw Jokic's stat line for this regular season and the past 2 years in the playoffs matching up against AD, averaging 27.8 points, 13.2 rebounds, and 9.7 assists. So even as good, yeah, oh, dominant, ridiculous. Like even as good as we know AD to be, and he is, you got to give him his credit. He showed out this year. He has played a ton of games. He's proved a lot of people wrong in the like glass house department, just playing in those ton of games this year. But man, Jokic just dominates the hell out of him, man. He has his number.
Always.
And it's going to take much more than AD and even Braun for the Lakers to be able to do something like Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Killian Hayes, like D'Angelo Russell. Like, these guys got to do something, man. Not Killian Hayes, Jackson Hayes, excuse me. These guys have to do something outside of Braun and AD. They ain't going to be able to do it themselves. Joker and that team, too good, man.
Yeah, I mean, the age is starting to show out there for LeBron. Obviously, he still tries to do his thing, but at the end of the day, LeBron's biggest thing was his mental edge over his opponents.
Yeah.
He just can't match up against Jokic. It's just not possible for him. And it's honestly, this is the first time I've really seen it happen. And it's honestly shocking. I mean, it's not that shocking that the Nuggets are beating the Lakers, but it's the mental edge and the realization that, you know, the guy who dominated the NBA since we were like little teens, even younger, it's outmatched.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Absolutely.
But
big ass white dude. That's
yeah,
the crazier part.
who literally couldn't give less of a shit about basketball.
I mean, he came to the game.
The best part of it.
Do you see the clip? I saw a clip of him today on Twitter dressed as Gru, and it actually brought me to tears.
That's great. That was literally
Jokic
awesome.
is one of a kind, man. You can't hate on the guy. He just doesn't care. Tuesday matchups. Let's kick it off. We got the Suns. We got the Timberwolves. I'll give my opinion real quick. The Timberwolves are by far the better team. Anthony Edwards is an up-and-coming superstar. Arguably top 5 player in the league within the next 2 years, could be the best. This man is electric, and the Suns aren't going to be able to keep up with him. Booker looked horrible in game 1. KD is obviously a little slower off the bounce. Bradley Beal has been MIA the whole season. I don't even know how the Suns are really in the playoffs at this point. Minnesota, pound for pound, dominates them. Holmes?
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think the T-Wolves are just going to dominate here. They've just looked really, really good all season. Even when Cat went down with injury, like mid-season, man, they didn't even like lose a stride. They just kept on going, kept on chugging. Like they just look like such a dominant team right now. They blew the shit out of the Suns over the weekend. It's just Anthony Edwards is the easy leader of that team and a franchise player and possibly league MVP for years to come. We're witnessing what is looking like up and coming greatness right now in this guy. And the Suns just feel like they're just trending in the wrong direction, man. They're discombobulated. They're not playing together. Some nights, a couple guys will have great games. Other nights, nobody will have a good game. And it's just like with all the talent you have on this team, why aren't they able to put it together more often than not? That's really the question for me. T-Wolves, I think, have the edge here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Suns are past their prime. I definitely think that the hype around them has died significantly. I feel like their issue is they tried to add and subtract too many pieces, and it ended up equaling an old ass team with old ass players that just really aren't playing like they used to. I mean, Booker really has no excuse. He's relatively young. I really don't know what's going on with him, but like people like, you know, the praying mantis KD, like it kind of makes sense. Like their age starts to show. Like we were just talking about with LeBron. I mean, it's just something that is inevitable. And it just happens. And we're just kind of like in this weird era of sports where we're about to see like a lot of these great players retire. I mean, think about it. You have LeBron, you have Tiger Woods. I mean, Katie is probably not too far behind. Like, just thinking about that is it's kind of crazy, but I think that the Suns definitely suffer from it.
Tiger Woods, pro hooper.
Well, no, I'm just thinking about
I
like
know what
old
you're
athletes in
saying, bro.
general.
I
Well,
know
that's
what
one
you're
that's always
saying.
on my mind because, Tiger is like my goat, but
That just kind of caught us off guard.
sorry.
All right, Pacers, Bucks. Regardless of which way you slice it, Giannis being out hurts, but the Bucks should never have been an underdog in Game 1. Damian Lillard is known for taking the shitty Blazers to the conference finals. That's what he does. So for the lines to open and the Bucks being plus 1.5, that's a no-brainer that you should be taking. They're minus 1.5 tonight. I'm still hammering the shit out of that. The Pacers are outmatched. They're outclassed. They are not built for the playoffs yet, and it is very, very clear. They got smoked, scuttlebutted, whatever you want to call it. They got fucking shit on. End of story. Gary, what are your thoughts here?
To be honest, this is a matchup that I'm not following too close. But I'm pretty sure that I did watch the Milwaukee game last night and it was a fucking slaughterhouse on the TV. So yeah, like Mondo was saying, minus 1.5 almost seems kind of disrespectful. I was thinking the same thing about the Timberwolves game. They're only favored by 3.5 against the Suns, which I definitely think they could do. Um, but yeah, I think 1.5 is a steal there.
Holmes?
Yeah, this series is just kind of weird, man, because the Bucks have been playing like shit ever since they fired Adrian Griffin and hired Doc Rivers. That's not gone the way they thought it was going to go. Giannis's injury does not help the Bucks at all, but yet Dame and that team just looked so freaking dominant in Game 1. I feel like this is a situation almost where like it's 1 year early for the Pacers. They had a really great year, and you love to see that improvement from what they have been in the past couple of years. Tyrese Halliburton's becoming a star, pairing him with Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner. Like they're going to be a good team, I think, for years to come. But it just seems like you're right. They're just outmatched. They're not really ready for the moment yet. Not a ton of guys on that roster with playoff experience, so it'd be easy to see how the talent of the Bucks can just really overwhelm the Pacers here.
Yeah. Last matchup of Tuesday night. We got the Mavericks. We got the Clippers. It's truly the Luka show, but somehow the Clippers always find a way to battle through it. I don't really have much on this series, kind of like how Gary you are with the Bucks. I don't really follow this series as much. I just know Luka always finds a way to hit his PRA, so that's what I take just about every single night. Holmes, let you take it away.
I mean, I think this is a really interesting ass series just because the Mavs have been so damn high. Their last 18 games in the regular season, they were 16-2. They only lost 2 games because they rested everybody for the playoffs. Like they were ridiculous coming into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the Clippers have looked pretty fucking good all season too. Like it's really tough with the Kawhi injury news right now because we know how big of a star he is, especially on the defensive side. He could be shit, he could be helping out that team so much more, I'm sure. But I mean, just having Paul George really up his game this year. Russ has looked amazing since going to the Clippers. Harden had a monster Game 1. Like, I really do like the Clippers here, as well as Luke and Kyrie have been playing down the stretch. I don't know. I just feel like they're not going to have enough to get it done against the Clippers. It's just, in my opinion, I like the Clippers, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Gare.
Um, this is a good one. I mean, the Clippers are up 1-0 right now, but I think it's about time that Luka and Mark Cuban get a return on their investment and finally go pretty far into the playoffs. And I really think this season could be it. Um, I don't really have like a reason. We're just gonna call it a Gary gut feeling, and that's all we have to say about it.
Gary, I'm gonna have to give you a line of coke before these recordings now. Or you gotta stop taking a nap before them. You're killing me here.
Well, I don't really know much about that.
No, I know. But don't know much with some energy behind it. You know what I mean?
I'm dumb as fuck.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Wednesday's matchup. We'll start with the later game because nobody has heard my takes yet on the Heat. And I know people have been waiting for it because I've been getting texted out the ass. So we will hit that game last. We got Pelicans. We got Thunder. At the end of the day, man, the Thunder are a fucking electric factory of talent. I cannot take my eyes off them. The Pelicans, obviously, Zion is hurt. It's a little bit tougher for him. OKC is going to outmatch, outclass, and outperform the Pelicans.
Yeah, I don't have much here, honestly. I think exactly what you said. Without Zion, Pelicans, they're just kind of lost, I think. Thunder have been playing so good all season long behind SGA and Chet. They just look like they're going to be the better team here. Even as young as they are, I still think they'll get it done. So, go Thunder.
Yeah, Mondo can't take his eyes off the Thunder, and Josh Giddey can't take his eyes off the little girls. We will never forget Josh Giddey.
Okay. Thanks, Scare.
Remember, he fucked a girl, like a little girl.
All right. Heat Celtics. We haven't done an episode since before that final playing game. It was a heartbreaker watching Jimmy go down with the MCL. I am still in pain. 7 weeks. I think if we somehow find a way to make it to game 7, he'll try and play. That's just how I feel. Um, but Boston is just such a good team. It's kind of tough out here. 14.5-point underdogs is a little bit disrespectful. The Heat can still find a way to win this fucking series. We don't give up. That's just who we are. It does hurt not having Michael Jordan on the floor. I mean, the Bulls wouldn't win without him. So the Heat won't win without Jimmy Buckets. That's how it goes. But God damn it, man, we will not give up. I will never let us give up. Hero's gonna find a way to hit his shots. Bam's gonna lock it the fuck in and play at a Jokic level. We do not concede to these fucking losers out of Boston. And fuck Kendrick Perkins, that fat, smelly sack of shit. He doesn't know shit about Heat culture. He's a fucking moron. Thank you.
Enough said.
All right.
Celtics in 4.
Gary's a fucking bitch. I'm giving you a C on your class now. Suck my dick. Holmes, why don't you take us away for a little bit of NHL playoffs, shall we?
Fuck the Cats.
All
I just
right.
want to say that real quick. Sorry.
Go Cats. Cats in
All right,
4.
I know. A lot of Cats and Lightning animosity in here, but we will run through these games. We got 8 matchups to go through in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game that's going on right now: Maple Leafs and the Bruins. Toronto Maple Leafs, Boston Bruins. Bruins won Game 1 in a shellacking of the Maple Leafs. In my opinion, I think the Bruins are the stronger team here. I always love to see the Maple Leafs choke. I'm definitely going to take the Bruins to take this series.
Yeah, no, I like that. Bruins always smoke the Maple Leafs. It's a no-brainer here. Top to bottom, the Bruins are an incredible team to watch, and I hate that as just a Boston thing. I hate it. But the Maple Leafs, we know how they are. First, second round, doesn't matter. They're out of the playoffs. They're a joke.
Yeah.
Fuck the Leafs. Yeah.
Love it. New York Islanders
They took us
and
out last
Carolina.
year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, we're all in that Eastern Conference. Like, it's just tough. We're gonna have to play each other all the time. But
Yeah.
yes, fuck the Leafs. We hate the Leafs. All right, next game that's on later tonight. Ooh, I think it's actually just about to start. New York Islanders and Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes won Game 1 against the Islanders a couple nights ago. This is just another case where I think the Hurricanes are the better team here. They're faster, they're stronger, they're more physical. I think they're poised to go pretty deep this year in the playoffs. Islanders are just always choking this time of year. I never have any confidence in them. Canes to the next round.
Yeah, poor Beeve, man. They fought all this way to get into the playoffs, and the Islanders are still going to get smoked early on. So
Yeah, I think so.
tough looks for our boy Beeve, but we'll cross that bridge on tomorrow's episode of Barroom Boys.
That's Nothing, Gare. All right,
All
respect.
right, thanks, Gare.
Oh, what?
Move
I
on.
didn't know.
I mean,
I
you can
mean, you
just
know what?
turn
At
off your
least
camera and mic if you want.
Carolina fans have now two sports to watch. You can watch women's basketball or you can watch hockey, and you won't want to kill yourself. So, I mean, at least there's that.
Oh
God, I
man,
mean, we
it's tough
just
shit.
need you to turn off the mic and camera today.
I
This
mean, they
is
sure don't want to watch
abysmal out
NFL.
here.
You think something? I mean,
I mean, we're talking suicide. You're missing your cue. If you were an actor, I mean, they would have kicked you off the movie.
I would have made the movie better.
No, I disagree. All right,
All right, you
Holmes,
fuckos.
continue.
Let's get back on track. 9:30 game tonight. Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars in game one of their series. Honestly, the Dallas Stars have been one of the best teams in the playoffs or in the regular season all season long. The Vegas Golden Knights getting back some important pieces before the playoffs from injury, which will definitely help them out. They're defending Cup champions from last year, so this is going to be an interesting series for sure. I lean Dallas Stars in this one. Just they've been playing so well. I think it's going to be tough for the Golden Knights to integrate their guys back from injuries so soon. So I'm going to take the Dallas Stars here.
Yeah, I mean, the real question here is how are Stone and Petrangelo feeling as they come back? Or is it a Joel Embiid situation where, they're rushed back a little too early? We really don't know. So this
Yeah.
is kind of an interesting game that I'm a little hesitant to bet on for the first one. So I kind of want to watch it play out and see what happens. But man, as good as the Stars have been, bro, the Golden Knights are just a different machine when it comes to the playoffs. So we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like when teams play the Golden Knights, like, how can I make this comparison? It's like it's like a Lamborghini compared to like the Sharks, who are like this beat up ass like old Volkswagen Bug. Like the Golden Knights came into the NHL a couple years ago and they meant business and then they won the cup. And I definitely feel like they could come out and do it again. I mean, they've shown it all year why they could do it. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they did win it again. So stare
Respect
at
that.
me like I'm have four eyes, I guess.
Good shit, Gary. I like that. All right, 10 o'clock game tonight. Last game tonight on the slate. LA Kings at the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the leaders of that Oilers team, but they just cannot advance in the playoffs, bro. I don't know what it is. They cannot get really deep into where they want to be, which is competing for the Stanley Cup. LA Kings have been kind of up and down a little bit this year, but honestly, a pretty formidable team. I really like their goaltending. This is going to be a tough series to pick, but I do think the Kings can upset the Oilers and possibly take the series in 7 games.
McBigcock and the Oilers are Dave's pick for the finals, man.
I
I
love it.
can't go against someone who's on a generational heater like that. I'm riding the Oilers heavy in this series.
Love
I
to
have
see
nothing to
that.
say about this
Here.
game, sorry. I was busy doing something.
That's all right. All right, we'll save the Lightning and Panthers game for last. We'll go into the matchups for tomorrow. Washington Capitals at the New York Rangers for game 2. The Rangers took the first game in this matchup, and the Rangers won the President's Trophy this season. They had the best record in all of hockey. But we know when it comes to the playoffs, that haunts you. It is a curse. But I still think they're going to win the series against the Capitals. The Capitals are no bueno. I have not thought that they were a good team all season long. So go Rangers here.
Yeah, Rangers have been dominant all year. There's nothing else to really say. The Capitals kind of snuck in. Other than that, the Rangers are gonna smoke them. That's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said Rangers Caps, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Ain't shit good coming out of
God,
Washington.
I fucking hate you.
Ain't shit coming out of Washington. So I definitely see the Rangers taking this one easily.
All right. Colorado Avalanche at the Winnipeg Jets, 9:30 tomorrow night. Jets took game 1. But the Avs are too good offensively. They have too many good weapons that I can see them blowing out teams with. The Jets are a pretty nice team. I love Connor Hellebuck. He's a great goaltender. I know the Avs goaltending can get sketchy at times, but I don't know. For some reason, my gut is speaking to me about the Avalanche winning this series. I feel like they're the better team in my heart. What do you guys feel?
Well, your gut is telling you it's McKinnon all the way, and your gut is
Yeah,
absolutely correct.
pretty much.
What the fuck are you doing, Gary? God, you're annoying. I got the Avalanche winning this series, but how about the Jets though, man? What a turnaround for this franchise. They are a hell of a force in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Avs came out last year and showed us what they're about, and haven't slipped up at all this year. So I really wouldn't be surprised if they come back and win this series as well.
Fire. Last game of tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Nashville Predators at the Vancouver Canucks. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I don't know shit about the Predators this season. They've not been a team that I've watched at all. I do know the Canucks have been a very, very good team this year. I think to a lot of people's surprise, but they have really put it together and torn through the regular season. So I'm just gonna take the Canucks here. I think they'll beat the shit out of the Predators.
Yeah, I'm with you. Not really much to add here. Canucks look great. They have all year. Nashville's been like a no-name team sneaking into the playoffs. There's not much else there. Canucks.
Yeah,
Nothing here. All right. The Tampa Bay Lightning at the Florida Panthers. Game 2 tomorrow night at 7:30. Panthers won game 1 3-2. Honestly, scoreboard doesn't dictate how close that game was because the Panthers pretty much dominated that through and through. And I honestly think, as a non-biased Lightning fan, it's going to be a tough series, man. And I think we're really in for it. And I've thought that all season long. I know that the Panthers are a really gritty, really tough, really talented team. I mean, you guys just have put together all the pieces that you've wanted to in the past couple of years to be able to get to where you are. The Lightning are built for these moments. They're built for the playoffs, but they have had so much trouble scoring 5-on-5. They rely so heavily on the power play. The Panthers are one of the best teams in the entire league at keeping teams off the power play. And they're honestly pretty good at penalty kills as well. So I think that is just a really, really tough matchup here, honestly, for the Lightning. Panthers just kind of looked like the better team in game 1. We'll have to see how tomorrow night plays out. The Lightning are able to steal a game on the road. That would be massive. But what are your thoughts on this game, fellow Mondo? We'll start with you.
Yeah, honestly, Panthers in 4. The Lightning are kind of a shell of themselves. Pretty shitty team these days. I'd expect nothing less than them to not win a game. They're just fucking terrible. Panthers are great. I got a chain from them for a reason. It's because of the better team in Florida. That's a fucking no-brainer here. They're gonna go all the way to Stanley Cup, and I have no ifs, ands, or doubts about it. Gary, over to you.
I feel like listening to Mondo right there is how it feels to listen to me. Because that was just straight up fucking stupid.
You want to know how it feels?
Um,
Yeah, I'd
that was
probably
just straight up
take the
stupid.
Panthers
See,
and
what's crazy is I'm the
4.
host and I can mute him now. Look at that. Woo! But essentially, I think that the Lightning own the Panthers as a franchise. Statistically, we do. I feel like this first game shows just how dominant Sam Reinhart could be, though. So we definitely got to put that man on clamps for the games to come. But don't forget who the Lightning are in the playoffs, bro. We are one of the best to ever do it. Florida boys don't need no ice to know how to play hockey. Because Lightning know how to play hockey. And they're going to come back and they're going to win this series. Fuck SoFlo. Fuck y'all. Y'all are a bunch of rats. That's all I have to say.
Bro, I love how you're blowing the Tampa crew like you don't live in butt fuck nowhere in Florida.
I live like an hour away from Tampa.
I drove
Yeah.
by there. You don't. It's a
Yeah,
little
I do.
further. It's a little further.
No, it's not. You don't even know where I live.
Holmes, thank you for leading us through that. Let's move on to plays of the day. Holmes, what do you have for us?
Yeah, man, I'm just going to recap everything that I put on the Twitter earlier today to make sure I got these plays out before all of these games started. I'm on the Rays money line and the Royals money line in baseball tonight. Unfortunate, Rays are down 3-0 right now to the Tigers. Hopefully they can climb back in that game. They're only in the 5th inning. And the Royals just got kicked off against the Blue Jays. I like them to keep it hot tonight. In the NBA, I'm on the Sixers plus 5.5. I think they'll be able to cover tonight. If not, win this game outright against the Knicks, try and even up the series. And LeBron James over 25.5 points. I think LeBron knows he is going to have to show out and show up tonight for the Lakers, have to lead them pretty much statistically in every category to make sure that his team gets a win tonight against the Nuggets. Because if they go down 2-0, they're in trouble. And then the NHL, just one play. I'm going to take the Stars on the money line. Teams at home in the NHL playoffs have been wagons so far in the first round and game ones. So I'm going to just take the Stars here, follow that trend. Like I said earlier, they've been such a good team all season long. I'm going to look for them to go up 1-0 early on the Knights.
Yeah, love it. NBA, I have Darius Garland over 6.5 assists. We know Donovan Mitchell is going to do his thing. Who's going to pass him the ball? It's got to be Darius Garland. Over to the next game, I have Mitchell Robinson over 5.5 rebounds. We know Joel Embiid is a little limpy on that leg, so I see Robinson getting up, getting boards, and getting dirty tonight. Holmes, I am with you there. Over 25.5 points with LeBron. I feel like it's a no-brainer. He's going to take it upon his shoulders himself. NHL, we got Leafs, we got Bruins, we got over 5.5 goals. That is where I'm going with it. And finally, I did it earlier, but it is what it is. I had A's, Yankees, Nerfy. That's it.
Nice. So good.
Let's go Magic.
All right, we're out of here.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. We will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.